it's interesting, absolutely. We push each other to an incredible point tallies, madness. I would have never thought that these kind of things are possible, and especially not in this league. So the consistency both teams showed in that period is absolutely crazy. We can just go through the possible results. We win, we are 2 points up. If everybody thinks that's done and dusted with the league, cannot help. If we lose, we are 4 points behind. If anyone thinks that's it, I cannot change it, but I know nobody from City point of view would think it like that. And then it's a draw, 1 point behind. So, and that's it. So, a very important game. I'm really looking forward to it. One of the biggest challenges you can face in football, but that's really nice. That's why I do this kind of things. Imagine we would be still 14, 15 points behind, would still be a great game, but lack of something like with meaningless and these kind of things, and so it's good.
See, I've read this morning that this Manchester City-Liverpool rivalry is the best seen in the Premier League. Would you go along with that?
Who said it?
Jimmy Carragher.
Then yes. Pep is the best coach in the world. I think we all would agree on that. And it might be a coincidence that it didn't work out so far in the Champions League or whatever. But the thing is, he won the football he plays. There's no, if anybody doubts him, then I have no idea how that could happen.
Right, Stewart, let's focus on Liverpool. You spent a couple of seasons there, of course, back in 2011 and 2012. They've already got one piece of silverware. You enjoyed that as well when you were at Liverpool, so know what it's like to kick off and join a club and win silverware and then try and chase for a little bit more.
Yeah, I think when I first signed there, it was more the takeover just happened. It was starting to build, and you could see the direction they were going to go in. And like I said, to get that first sort of trophy under the new owners was fantastic. And I think from then on, they've built and got better and better, as the decade and after have gone on.
How do you think they've managed to keep that level up?
I think recruitment's the big thing. Like I say, even managers in that, getting Jurgen Klopp in was a big statement for what he's done for the football club, and not only that, for the Premier League, he's took the standard up. And like I said, with the recruitment on his players, I think he's bought really, really well, and he's built a fantastic team to go and push on to win leagues and Champions Leagues.
I think this is the strongest Liverpool team you've seen in your lifetime.
I think so. They've got an unbelievable squad, and you even look at the additions he's added, in January and in the summer. They've gone from strength to strength, and it's quite hard to do that when you're winning things, to get players to come who might not start in the team, and then obviously have to find a way and try and break into the team. But I think his recruitment, the biggest thing, has been fantastic.
And how much will that win over Benfica, I guess, put them in, do you think, a more advantageous position? They've got a 2-goal cushion as well, bringing it back to Anfield.
Yeah, I think I said earlier, and I shouldn't have said it, maybe the tie was over, but there's still difficult games, Champions League, anything could happen. But I think, with Anfield and the crowd and the form they're in, Liverpool, I expect them to wrap that pretty early in the game. But it's still difficult, and like Jurgen said, there's never any easy games, and you need to be professional and get that job done.
Do you think that as a player, would you feel like the pressure was off just that little bit heading into a game like this at the weekend, knowing that you've got the job done and done it very well midweek?
A little bit. I think the result, obviously, the result giving a little bit of a cushion, but I think with the players now and the mentality they have, they're very professional. They know, you can't switch off at any point because small margins change games, and Benfica is still going to be an hard outfit at Anfield. But I do expect them, with the quality they have, like I say, the strength and depth, the manager who drives them on every day, that should be wrapped up pretty easy, I think, that game.
And this is where squad rotation and how things work with regards to Klopp and being tactically astute as well. He's very clever, and very clever that he manages to keep some world-class players on the bench happy.
Me and Danny just been speaking that off cameras, thinking, you want to play in every game, obviously the big games more, but I think players understand there's a lot of games, a lot of playing every 3 days against top opposition, so they'll be disappointed, but I think they have to put that to bed and understand it's a team game, and they'll be needed at some point in wherever game that be. And like I say, tactically there could be changes depending on the opposition, so I think they all understand the bigger picture.
And in the background as well, of course, still building for the future, still looking ahead and making sure that players who are there right now under contract get new deals signed, Mo Salah being one of those. How important is it that he stays? Because how key is he to Liverpool?
Very important, and I was thinking, for Salah, I think he's loved at the club. He's at one of the best teams in the world, playing for a great manager in the best league in the world. I'd be very, I think, strange for him to leave unless he look at more of a lifestyle sort of change and or maybe more money. But I think for him, he's in a perfect place. And I think for Liverpool as well, like you said, there was a big thing about him not signing a lot of players last year, but I think renewing contracts with them very important players was a big plus for them, and like you say, that's the nucleus of that team.
Yeah, and you want him to feel happy at his club. Things aren't quite going well for Egypt, are they? Yes, he's still scoring goals, but missing out in the World Cup, missing out, of course, against his teammate as well in Sane in the Africa Cup of Nations too. So it's dealing with players coming back from international disappointment as well, but letting them know that they're still loved, they're wanted, and you'd hope that was reciprocated.
And I think that's probably a big job for the manager when they come back. He's got sort of all different, people are happy they've got through, like the England lads, people like that, and then you get obviously Mo Salah, an important player who's disappointing, and we're disappointed for him because we want to see the best players, play on the bigger stage, and you can see his disappointment, and there's talk of him being a little bit flat of late, but I wouldn't worry too much about that. I think big game coming at the weekend, perfect for him to spark into life and get a goal.
How much of his decision do you think is going to hinge on the next couple of weeks and what happens?
I think it's big. I think everyone's waiting, but I think when you speak to Jurgen speaking in his press conference, he seems pretty relaxed. So you don't know what's going on in the background. Maybe there's an agreement sort of in place and they're waiting for the right time. You don't know what goes on. Contracts do take a long time. There's obviously a lot of things that need to be discussed, and it's obviously a big contract for him with the age he's at. So I think confidently that I think Mo Salah will sign maybe in the next couple of weeks. Fingers crossed.
Luis Diaz, of course, signing in January, and what he's just been incredible, hasn't he? Slotted straight in, but we still seeing Roberto Firmino and Diogo Jota. I'm just looking at the last starting 11s and the abundance of talent up front here. They've played in key roles. Do you think there's a first choice front three at Liverpool right now when you look at how it is chopped and changed? And it's so difficult.
Yeah, it is difficult. I mean, if you ask Jurgen, he'd probably say no because they're all as equal as good as you. I think Salah, before a couple of weeks ago, like I said about his form, he's a nailed-on starter. I love Mane, I love the way he plays, but like you said, Diaz has come in and put pressure on him now. So I think the big thing, like I said with Jurgen, is recruitment. He's brought players in who, if people are not informed, they can come in and be replaced, and that's what you want at a top club, which they never had in the past. They maybe didn't have that bench, which wasn't strong enough. No disrespect to the players, but I just think the players are brought in now are at a different level.
What about the future of Firmino? Key to keep him?
Yeah, I think for what he's done over Liverpool the last couple of years, I think Jurgen still thinks he's a very important player. I think it all depends on Firmino. Does he want to play week in, week out? Is he going to be guaranteed to do that with the signs they have? So it's a big decision, but I think I'd like to keep him. I think he's still an important player.
How do you think Liverpool's midfield maybe compares to Manchester City? Is that the one area that maybe City just trump Liverpool?
I think it depends how you look at it, doesn't it? I think tactically, you go for the more technical players or the more, sort of robust. It depends how they're set up. I think Jurgen will tell you his is better than City's and Pep the other way around, but I think they've got great players on it, and that'll be a big thing for in the Sunday. That'll be won or lost in the middle. Like I say, Liverpool's pressing the way they go about it, but Man City have the technical players to play around that, so that'll be very interesting tactically.